Alright, so right now I'm going to give you a quick overview of my action bar. See, I have about 130-40-ish Araxxor kills right now, and I would recommend bringing just one 3-dose overload, not a big deal. Depending on the path you take, anti-poison, 3 or 4 doses of adrenaline potion, and depending on your aura that you use, I would suggest 1 to possibly 3 super restores. I usually bring 4 to 6 rock tails and fill the rest with Ceridome and Brews. Now this combination works best for me. Some work better for other people's, but generally, even when the kills, I get up to 100% in rage, this still works out for me. So this is my ability bar. Today I'm going to use range because this is the guide for path 1 and just basically path 1. I have ascensions. You can do it without ascensions. It just makes it kills longer. You may only be able to kill it once or twice. I'm using Supreme Sharpshooter aura that helps so much. So does the Farsight Sniper necklace. I'd get that as well. So this is how you get there if you don't know. I mean, the Port Phasmatis area from the bank, you need 92 agility to use that shortcut. And once you get through here, you just go into this giant cave. And then you go to the right here, jump over this acid pool, and you could either make an instance for 200k. It lasts for an hour, even if you have to leave. You can't stay in there for multiple kills. So they leave the instance open so you can bank after every kill, and your instance will still be there. So funny thing here, right there, I forgot to fill my yak. Do not forget to fill your yak. You most likely will die. That's why you can rejoin this instance, but whatever. Alright, so enter the lair. So there's 3 giant spider webs covering up the path. See that middle one is blocked right there? So I'm picking path 1, so you burn it. You don't need a tinderbox or anything. Well, if you do, you might, but it's in my tool belt if I do. So protect from magic, and then I put my other prayers on, and I don't use protect item until I've used my portent of life yet. So this is his first special attack actually. So he'll web cocoon you, and what you need to do that is just rapidly click anywhere. Use anticipate or freedom every 4 to 5 auto attacks from Araxxor to avoid these. This is his second one, and it's the cleave. Depending on his enrage, he can actually kill you very easily with his cleave. It happened to me a few times today, and I got pretty pissed off, and yeah, it just does not turn out well. Alright, so here's his last one for this, and he can heal himself a couple thousand points, but he also reflects damage back onto me. Now this is a pretty bad kill for me. I ended up screwing up a lot, but that's alright. So I bring a shield. You don't need one, but some people like it for phase 2 because you can use defensive abilities and reflect and resonance and all that. Especially for path 3, it's really handy because you can heal all the way up with no problems whatsoever. So basically now you just DPS Araxxor down. We're still in phase 1 obviously. Use Death Swiftness as much as possible. Tendrils hits very, very high. I've hit 11k, I've hit 12k before, but you also get dealt a lot of damage. So I wouldn't use that unless you're really comfortable and you've killed them a few times and you know you're going to be able to last with food. Also right here, like I'm doing right now, you can pull out your shield and use defensive abilities. That's also very useful. Get your adrenaline right back up so you can get some thresholds to knock Araxxor down. Alright, so for the next phase, we're going to face these spider minions, and there's a few kinds that you really want to, excuse my phone, there's a few kinds that you really want to look out for. There's a mirrorback spider and the pulsing spider. Now the mirrorback, if it's alive and you attack Araxxor, all the damage will be reflected back at you, and if there's a pulsing spider, it will heal Araxxor for 5,000 life points at a time. Now that is a huge will really slow down your kills, so I highly suggest killing them first. And then after that, I just DPS these guys down as quickly as possible. Now, I would use Revolution until you're comfortable with the mechanics and you have a lot of kills under your belt. I still use Revolution because I'm a horrible PVMer and I'm quite lazy, to be honest with you. But see, there's the pulsing spider. So he's going to heal Araxxor until I kill him. Now, another one of his special attacks, he will spawn 3 eggs, like he just did there. And then there will be a, depending on your graphic settings, it's like an orange fiery ball that comes flying at you. And if you're not within 5 squares of those, you'll be dealt a lot of damage. I think it's up to 3,000. But if you're on top of them, it will destroy all 3. Like right here, there's 3. If you stay on top of it, and you'll only be dealt 300. If you miss this, 3 spiders will spawn. Sometimes he only spawns 2 eggs, and then you take more damage no matter what. But they're really not a big deal. Just make sure, even on this phase, when you're trying to DPS those spider minions down, there's that mirrorback spider, by the way, that he can still use cleave, because like right now I'm pretty close to him and I don't really have a place to click except for sideways, so that's not the best thing. So I'd probably you should adjust your camera angle so it's something right about now, so this way you can click away and have no issues. I don't really use Freedom and Anticipate on Path 1 Phase 2 because he doesn't seem to use a web cocoon. I don't know if he doesn't at all, but I don't recall him doing it whatsoever. So this is more just DPS. I still have a yak full. So far so good. You have to watch your prayer. Mine just ran out, as you can tell. Pain in the ass. I'm actually pretty bad with a shield, so I tend to not use a shield, but I brought it for the guide's purpose. So for the best DPS, when you're obviously going to build your general and use basics on the spider minions, and then when you can, use I believe it's Deadshot. The Deadshot ultimate ability on Araxxor. Make sure there are no mirrorback spiders, otherwise you'll be hit, pretty high, and then it'll do probably 5 to 10k damage on Araxxor while you're still killing other minions. So that really speeds up the kills. I learned that recently. My kills aren't the best. I believe if I went into full manual mode, they'll speed up by a couple of minutes. But this one I think is around 11 or 12 minutes. So for your action bar, what I would personally recommend is to have this type of combination. It doesn't need to be this exact setup, but for prayer switching for the 4th phase, I have C as my range protect, V as my mage protect, B as my brew, and N as my rocktail. Now what this lets me do is I sit there in Revolution and I have 2 fingers on, one on C, one on B, and then I have the other one on B, and I switch back from B to N to E and just switch like that, so I don't click a lot. And then with my mouse I'll click Anticipation and Freedom, and this way I don't have to worry about being killed or anything like that, and it actually works out pretty well. Alright, so it looks like Araxxor is just about the low health. You want to get him about 5k health before you switch phases, because he will carry that over. And if you haven't done all of his minions yet, it's not good. You'll have the kill will last much longer. Sometimes he uses his web ability where he protects himself in that shield, so you're gonna have to wait here for a while. So adrenaline install, maybe take off your prayer if you want. Usually doesn't take that long. That's what I bring the shield for sometimes. Devotion is one of my favorite abilities at Araxxor, especially phase 4. Okay, so phase 3 is straight DPS. The only difference is that he will have a combination of the open paths. So right now path 1 and path 3 are open. Path 3 is the darkness. So his special attack in the darkness is when the room goes dark and there's one spot of light. And if you don't stand in that spot of light, you will be consistently damaged, and it's usually not bad. I usually tank it out sometimes, especially in melee. But the range is pretty easy, especially in the higher enraged levels, to go and stand in that. You stand towards the back and then click Araxxor, and you'll automatically run to the front of it, and then you'll start attacking him if he's in range. So you have to be careful here because he will still use his some spider minions if they aren't already dead. It depends how fast your phase 2 is. So if your phase 2 is really quick, and as you can actually you can't really see because of Araxxor's health bar, but right under his health bar there's a yellow shape. I can't remember what exactly it looks like, but if you hover over it, it tells you how many of his minions are left. And if there are none left, then you don't have to worry about anything for the darkness. See right here, I click the back of the darkness and then click Araxxor. Actually, I didn't move forward because he's right in my range. Okay, so this is basically just DPS, and once you get him all the way down to 0 health, then you'll see a cutscene and you'll go into phase 4. So now I'm just going to speed up the video here, and I'll see you guys in phase 4. Okay, and here we go. So this is the animation I was talking about, and right here you're going to want a general install for the famous phase 4 that most people have a real hard time with. So this is probably my easiest phase, in my own opinion. I think it's the easiest phase, but nobody seems to agree with me. So what you want to do here is, just like I told you before, have your fingers on C and V, and then one that would operate B and N, which is what I have in my ability bar to E. So just focus on prayer switching. Make sure you're also clicking every few attacks on anticipation and freedom. That will prevent you from being pulled in from his special attacks. He can use any of them in phase 4 until he is enraged. Now Araxxor becomes enraged when he's down to 50. She is down to 50,000 life points. Now I believe she also hits harder when she's enraged, but I'm not really sure. But she can't use any special attacks. If they use the if Araxxor uses the darkness special, I would just tank it. I wouldn't bother running around, especially if you're using melee. But if you are using melee, make sure you're praying magic on this. You'll take so much damage if you're praying melee. So at 25,000 HP, Araxxor will drain your adrenaline. I think it's about 50%. And then she will release a putrid wave, and this wave is very similar to the that core at Corporal Beast, and it'll bounce around. I believe it's 5 times before it lands on you, and when it lands on you, it'll deal a significant amount of damage, which increases with Araxxor's enraged levels. So just like that, it shouldn't hit you more than like 3 times. I'm sure your first time around. It's not a big deal. So when it hits you, click one spot away, and you'll be fine. So right here we're going to check the loot. And YouTuber's luck, please. Nope, nothing. Okay, guess not. Yeah, so you cannot teleport out, so you have to hit bank all or take all, and then you hit leave. Or you could do the pet chance, whatever you want. You leave, and if you have 92 agility, this is the shortcut to do it. If you don't, we're going to go bank here again. If you don't have 92 agility, then you just walk west and go out that way, and you have to walk all the way around. It's a pain in the ass. So this is Araxxor. Pretty easy once you get used to it. If you're having trouble increasing your kill speeds or eating less food, just keep working on it. Upgrade your armor. Try to use devotion when you can. Debilitate. If you're doing phase 1, if you're doing path 1, make sure in phase 2 you're using Deadshot ability, the Deadshot ultimate ability on Araxxor while you're killing the other minions. That helped me a lot. So this is pretty much it. I'm going to be coming out with some guides, maybe just quick videos on path 2 and 3 with melee, or path 3 and 1. I haven't really decided yet. I'm really dry right now. I believe the drop rate's like 1 in 30. Somebody told me. I got a Fang, which is extremely unlucky. Because I believe you still lose money attaching the Fang to the spider leg. But I need one more spider leg, and I have 140 kills, and I believe the drop rate is 1 in 30. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.